So, without further ado, our first reaction today is going to be Dreamcatcher, You and I. Let's hear it.
미친 듯이 달려도 난 다시 또 제자리였다고 걸속 너의 모습이 일그러지는 미스터리
Is it TikTok?
저물면 문을 열어둬 모든 빛이 사라진 밤 나나나나 스르륵 잠든 스르륵 곁에 아무도 모르게 다가갈게 now oh now 수많은 별이 너만을 비추기 울지 않게 너봐 내 손을 잡아봐 매일 꿈속에만 그렸던 나잖아 그렇게도 원한 너와 내 시간들 baby 이제는 나와 함께 baby you and I
It's a vertical video.
baby you and I
Thanks, Cameron.
익숙한 길이 낯설게 느껴져 너를 부르는 목소리가 들려 한없이 차가워진 눈빛
Dude, their voices are
가는
sick.
너를 숨기고 그곳은 위험해 no 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 way 스르륵 잠든 스르륵 꿈에 아무도 모르게 들어갈게
So-
now oh now 흐르는 너의 차가운 눈물 다 지워줄게 내가 지워줄게 눈을 떠봐 내 손을 잡아봐 매일 꿈속에만 그렸던 나잖아 그렇게도 원한 너와 내 시간들 baby 이제는 나와 함께해 문을 열어줘 가득 품에
There's no good pause place, so I'm just gonna pause it here. This is really cool. I think it's like this is clearly good. I'm not familiar with this band, Dreamcatcher. I know people mention them a lot. I'm just trying to think about like why this format, right? I mean, I guess it's the fact that like everyone has like a vertical smartphone these days, right? So actually the format makes sense. And it's a more, we've seen this actually in K-pop more than anything else, but these casual like settings of songs, it's almost like, you get these huge spectacular concerts, right, of all these groups. And we went through a lot of them actually kind of a couple months ago, watching a lot of like live K-pop performances. And groups like this, all girls groups and I mean all boys groups, whatever, all these K-pop groups have this identity that it's like we're just like you guys, we just hang out and take phone videos. And no, I mean all of their voices are fantastic. So the thing, Ace, their music is so hooky. Like it hooks you so quickly and it doesn't let you go. There's no good place to pause, and there's just like this huge I've seen some of Chase's tweets about this actually. He really enjoys Dreamcatcher. I think they're great. I think this is a fantastic energy, and their voices are all really damn good. Yeah, I mean but that's the thing, Antivani, and that's it's kind of what I was trying to get to, I guess, is that this feels like it's just a bunch of people hanging out having fun doing karaoke, right? Which is what regular people like you and I do. And we can go out with some friends and do karaoke and pass the mic around and sing something, and it makes you identify with this group really strongly. And that's what I think. I mean, from an audience perspective, it's really heartwarming. Just like watching a band of this quality. I mean, a singing group of this quality do something that all of us would do in just like a really fun environment, right? We can see ourselves in this group. Now, going off of the trend of my how-to reaction video last week, from a marketing perspective, it's genius, right? Because the goal of this kind of marketing exactly what I was describing. Putting you in the place of your favorite artist so that you can feel more connected to them. And that doesn't diminish anything that's happening here. I think it's actually really quite like smart, really beautiful, like really, really good. And it from a production standpoint, it's everything, right? It's the vertical video, which makes you feel like it's a video you just took on your phone. And then it's just passing a mic around. And there's nothing crazy about the production of it. You know, they're just passing a mic around. You can tell it's not super produced or anything like that. But it's just really, I know, it's nice. Mr. Prager, thank you for the gifted subs. Right? Thank you very much. And this is what's cool about this, and it works. It just reminds me of like what you guys do. I watch you guys come in on vertical cams all the time doing voice lessons in the voice clinic in the community, right? And there's nothing different, you know? It's engagement with the camera. It's a decent microphone that can capture your voice well, and it's being a performer. This opens this type of format of performing. It opens the window into the lives of amazing singers. It's really, really fantastic. Simple is the new advanced. Let the sound speak. Yeah, the sound is speaking for themselves. Like you can hear that it's not an overly produced sound. So you can hear that virtuosity in all of their voices. I'm like each person who's come up to sing has just like the most clean, crisp, like twangy, perfectly balanced pop sound, and it's really forward and really nice. Not an easy sound to cultivate, but once you get there, it's something that you can rely on heavily, right? We'll do a little bit of vocal analysis before we end it, but I'm actually like, when you really put your brain into why these videos are the way they are, it really just it's almost inspiring, right? Like the backing track is pre-recorded. They probably did the backing track themselves with the harmonies in it. Otherwise, they're just enjoying themselves and singing like they would at karaoke. It's super awesome. I love it. I love her voice. It's so sweet, and it's relying on like breathiness, but it's not overly condensed. It's all air driven. It's all breath driven. It's so nice. Yeah, it's this is such a good group. Well, it's not falsetto what we're hearing, right? We're hearing really just released head voice that's not being constrained by any chest timbre or any chest tension. There's no gripping in the folds. And the only way you can get that is really if you can freely breathe in and out. And one of the really fantastic things about these K-pop groups that are, manufactured, they're put together, they're trained in a very specific way. And then they have stories behind them that really engage with the audience. But the training is really what stands out about these fantastic singers. It's rigorous training, vocal training, cardio training, breath training that allows you to just make a really great sound without worrying about anything, without tensing up anything. You can keep your face calm. One of the biggest tells of good vocal technique is having a calm face when you're singing, right? A lot of these groups get to choose their teammates, by the way. Oh, that's good to know, Becca. Yeah, so they're also, friends, right? And they've known each other for years. Exactly. I do miss Twitch Sings. We actually had a couple of really fun streams on Twitch Sings before it got taken down, which was only 2 months after I started streaming. But one of the I just wanted to call this out. Like, one of the best signs of amazing singing, this is a great reflection of it, because there's nothing stopping us from seeing exactly what's happening with their voices. Their faces are so relaxed. That's part of being a good performer, but it's also part of being a great singer. If you can freely, independently use your breathing muscles, independent of any neck tension or anything, then you have this freedom to express with your face that's not contingent on how you're using your voice. And that's like true vocal flexibility. And if you're having trouble with that, then you want to ask yourself, what am I doing with my face in order to make anything happen with my voice? Because if you have tension in your throat, it will reflect itself in how your facial muscles are working. Because normally, I get this a little bit. When you're singing, a lot of people sometimes get like a furrowed forehead. And what that really means is that these muscles are connected all the way down through here, through here, through here, through here. And something is happening in your voice that is then corresponding to muscles furrowing your brow or furrowing your thing and doing like this with your forehead. Just make sure that's what's happened. Like, make sure that you are aware of that, right? Matter of fact, thank you. Thank you, Nix. I appreciate it. People unfortunately say that stuff about anything that isn't a genre they don't like. K-pop gets worse than most because, well, I think the thing about K-pop is that it's kind of hard to understand if you haven't spent time listening to it. Like, I wouldn't understand it if you guys didn't shove this stuff in my face, which I have no problem with at all. But I wouldn't get the fascination with it. But every time it comes up, knowing that it's so popular, I want to just understand why it's so popular. And it's very obvious if you just spend a second thinking about why K-pop is so popular. Why, not even the genre, but just the groups. Like, the groups put in the work, they put in the effort, they make amazing performances happening, right? At its most core level, this stuff is great music, and preferences aside, you can't argue with the fact that these are fantastic singers singing really exciting music and making it just super special experience for the audience. That's not a genre thing. That's an individual group thing that have all been kind of cast under this umbrella genre, right? It's just a vibe I don't understand, but it's a good example. Like Dynamite, by the way, is too vibing. I like that. Oh yeah. It's okay. I mean, but it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, Don't worry. Yeah. I wouldn't take it personally because no, like, I'm not going to listen to this in my free time. But that's just me. I listen to like obscure weird opera stuff in my free time. And that's my cup of tea, right? Or I just listen to lo-fi because it doesn't interfere with like my brain waves. If I'm trying to be productive, I can't listen to something like this because I'll just be distracted by it. Everyone has something different. That doesn't mean there's any less value to it. The fascination is that they're in fact humans and it's music. Not sure what's so hard for people. K-pop is an industry. There are genres within the umbrella. Absolutely, Becca. Yeah. And I mean, that's what I think I'm trying to say is that the people kind of attack the K-pop umbrella, but within that umbrella, each group everyone has a different style of all the K-pop groups I've heard that earns its place in the world, right? They all have earned the renown they've gotten. And I think there is a system behind that is a common thread between these Korean music groups, these Korean pop music groups, but they all have a different sound, and there's no reason to group them in from an artistic standpoint, right? They all have earned their own merits as a group, and I don't think any of their fans are. I don't think any of their fans are like delusional. I don't think any like K-pop fan is just like in general loving all K-pop. Right? They love the groups because the groups do stuff like this. They are engaging with their fans. They're engaging with people. They connect with people on a really personal level. Tribal fans drive me away from all K-pop stuff. Yeah, but Shadow of Death, that's the same thing with every genre. I get that though. Ooh, enjoy your soup fry. Yeah, and there are tons of I love the K-pop songs with translations because a lot of them are really just nuanced poetry. It's really fantastic. Let's go back to the start of this last chorus just so we can say some final words about it, right? They all have very similar timbres, right? They're singing in similar styles, but the colors that they're using individually are so vast, right? And it creates so much interest in the individual vocal line, right? A good musical group cannot avoid the fundamentals. You can't ignore the fundamentals.
내 손을 잡아봐 다 잊어버려 혼자였던 시간 까만 세상 속에 네 편이 돼줄게 baby 이제는 나와 함께 yeah.
Like, look how that sound is so optimized. That was just like a really clean, untense, like loose belt. Like it was a nice twangy sound, very well forwardly placed, very balanced between the breath and the actual vocal folds. And her face was just like, yeah, like I'm just doing this. I'm just singing this sound, right? Yeah, their rapper's voice is really nice. I don't have much to say about rappers because it's just really clean articulation, and it's not about the sustained breath. So that's out of my wheelhouse when it comes to actually doing a useful analysis. But their rapper's voice is really nice. I like it too.
Baby, you and I. Baby, you and I. Dreamcatcher.
Heck yes. Very nice.
Yeah.
Dude, big fan. I would love to hear some live Dreamcatcher. And knowing about, Chase Carnison's fascination with this group, I trust his opinions, right? I trust his instinct when it comes to music, because a lot of the people here have really enjoyed his content as well. So, and I trust you guys, first of all. First and foremost. Yeah. It's a way to appreciate the artist, even if it doesn't tick your boxes. Sure. And Svinial, that's what we do here. That's what this is all about. It's appreciating artists for the human side of them. Like, here's the thing. I've always resented the idea that, like, there is a singer who is, like, unnaturally human. And I know there are probably people here in chat who are like, well, what about this person? They're, like, unnatural. They're not even human with what they can do. But at the end of the day, they are just humans. They started out as humans, and then they've worked towards something in some way. Maybe they had a natural proclivity to it due to some, natural sense they were given from birth. But these are all people who've been able to accomplish something with their voices. Yeah, but okay, so here's the thing. Saying Dimash is inhuman invalidates all of the work that he's put in to become the singer he is. Like, it's just like, when people say that, it's like, how, as a fan base, it's like, how delusional are you? I don't know. It's not actually, it's much more appreciative, and it's much more realistic and kind, and, to actually appreciate someone for the work they've done rather than saying they're unnatural. Because as a singer personally, like, I have my moments where I'm on stage and I sing something really well. And, some old lady comes up to me and is like, you were born with such talent, good job. And I'm like, dude, if you heard me when I started singing, I sucked. And now I can do stuff, right? I can do stuff. But it's not because I was born with it. It's because I put in the work. And when people look at you and look past the hard work you've put in, it doesn't even matter if it's singing or anything else. It almost invalidates that work. So I appreciate Dimash's singing so much. I think he's top tier in the world at what he does. At that level, everyone has achieved something in a different way better than everyone else, right? And when you're able to do that, you shouldn't invalidate the work that's been put in to get there, right? Everyone says, or not everyone, but some people, we talk about Dimash's work ethic and how it's like people say he works 20 hours a day. It's like, that's sleeping 4 hours a day and singing 20 hours. I don't know how that works. But if that's even close to true, then you shouldn't invalidate that work. It's clearly gotten you very far.
Hey guys, since I know a lot of you are musicians or artists and many of you are working to become professionals in that area, I actually wanted to introduce you to a surprisingly amazing company that actually reached out to me recently. This is Lander. It's your one-stop platform for everything you need to become a self-produced musical artist of any genre. When you sign up, you automatically get access to their huge library of sounds, automated mastering software, and a huge network of other professionals that you can collaborate with. I actually just signed up as an official voice coach and singer for hire on the platform, and I'm looking forward to meeting and working with other professionals from all over the world. As you can see here, it's basically everything you need to start making, publishing, and living off of your own music. Everyone from beginner musicians to professional artists have something they can get out of this platform. I think the starting price is around $10 a month, and I can tell you already that it's worth it. I plan on using everything Lander has to offer to make my own lo-fi opera album in the near future, as well as using the network to continue my work on some of the covers I've been working on recently as well. I want to give a huge shout out to Anthony over at Lander for letting me try out the platform, since the potential here for musicians, and specifically for you guys as part of this community, is absolutely immense. Anyway, if you're interested in trying out Lander, I've put an affiliate link down below that would give me a small kickback should you choose to subscribe to the platform. If you have any questions about Lander or singing reactions or singing in general, you can always find me at the Big Brain Singer Discord server, discord.gg/BigBrainSinger, where myself and the other Big Brain Singer coaches will be happy to help you as best we can. Ciao!